Okay, so it is Monday, May 1st, and I got back to Texas about a week ago, last Monday. So I haven't showed anything that I've been working on since I've been back. And first thing you'll notice are the string lights. So I started working on getting the string lights up. I've got 4 strands of 150 lights each. So I've got a lot of string lights to put up. And so this kind of shows you how some of them have been put up kind of on this kind of diagonal across these beds, which is really nice. And there's a lot of stuff growing in the garden since the last time I checked out, which was back in March, towards the middle of March. And so got all these string lights out, and they run across the site. They run over here to the pergola. Look at those tomatoes that have just come up. They're going crazy. And got this little block wall here from some material that we got to reuse from an exhibit that was all done. So I made this nice, block wall, and I still just have to put some maybe construction adhesive, masonry adhesive on the top to secure that top block. But so the lights go all around the pergola. We got a nice wind chime and a bird feeder, and then so it goes back, reconnects to the arbor walkway. And so the end of last week, I think last Wednesday, this is where I was able to finish things off. Comes back over here, reconnects to the steel cube, and I've got my extra right there. So what I had to do, and these are all daisy chained together. So basically the idea is they've got one plug, which is right here. So you would just have to hook up one extension cord there to get power here, and it'll power the whole all 4 sets. So basically what I'm doing now, I had to actually pour another one of these little planters, makeshift planters with a 4x4 sticking out of it, and to match the other 2. And so now it's probably just about starting to firm up. So now what I'm going to do is from this corner where the lights are currently at, so from this corner it's going to go to that first post there, and then basically it's going to come back to that metal post there, and it's going to loop in, go to that one, and so it'll basically go back and forth diagonally across this space. So it's going to look really nice at night anytime you plug it in. And I am using cable. I am using this cable to support and give a little bit of strength. These strands are pretty strong as they are, but I was really trying to think about, if there's any extra force, like it would suck to have to restring something or repair it just because it didn't have enough force or enough strength, and it got torn down or something. The other thing about using this braided cable, it's just galvanized cable. It's got a 2,800 pound breaking strength. And so what it also does, it not only just supports the string lights, but so it's tied from the steel cube into the arbor walkway, and arbor walkway to this fence line, and that way pergola. So it's creating like these tie points between these structures. This thing has held up pretty well. Hasn't had any too many big issues like with wind and stuff like that. And so what the cables just do, it's just like an additional little security thing where this isn't gonna tip over or anything, because it's like it's locked in kind of through slight tension, not tight tension, but it's like you got these strong steel cables connecting to it, and it just kind of gives it a little, there'll never be any situation where this somehow flips over or something. Not that that really ever would, but like if there was ever some just ridiculous amount of wind, and we have had some pretty crazy wind, but there's no way that that's going to go anywhere. So that makes me feel a lot better. And so yeah, so now that this is pretty much firmed up, give you an idea, show you what things have been growing in the garden. So everything just looks amazing. So a big thanks to our gardener Harvey, who's been working out here trying to get the garden looking as good as possible. There's that. And this thing's still looking pretty good. I've got a few final details to wrap this up, and pergola's still looking good. Pond system's still looking good. And the only other thing that I did today was I poured a little bit more cement in this section, and so, you know, I cut into that mound so that I could get another section there. And so all I have left to pour, and I just had to make a little makeshift one right there because I didn't want to dig into that to get my mold down. So that's good. And then I finish this section there with just that little corner, so that kind of extends and looks nice. So yeah, so I was able to almost 100% finish this detail here, and all that really needs to happen is kind of fill in some more rock into the gaps and all around, and then start thinking about, you know, what we can plant that's going to do really well on the side. You know, full sun, drought tolerant, maybe some cacti or like succulents, something that's going to do well and not have to necessarily be watered a lot. So the only thing that I have left to do on this side is I've got like maybe, that's like one, depending on how far I want to go in this section. If I want to do maybe 6, 7, so maybe 7 at the most. You know, I could also just stop it right here with just one more, depending on kind of if I feel like doing that much more work as far as this section here. I could do that, it would look good. So I have to figure that out. And so besides that, so I was able to get that done, which is really great. You know, we got this is going to be a massive sunflower. I think this is one of the species that's like the really big gigantic sunflower, so it's going to be really cool when that pops up. And let's see, so, and that's pretty much where things are at right now. So the plan at this time is, you know, I'm working on wrapping things up for by Juneteenth. So I've got about maybe 6 to 7 weeks, and so within that time I want to wrap everything up that I've been working on. So finish up the majority, if you know, all the development, depending on you know, what's their remaining budget as far as what else they want to do with the pond or things like that. But so that is my goal, to have this whole site done, wrapped up as far as anything that I'm working on by Juneteenth weekend and the festivities, because they're more than likely going to have it open to the public. So I think that would be the right time to finish up everything and, you know, maintain it, make it so it looks as good as it's gonna get, and then, you know, take the photos, take the videos, record it for just kind of one last hurrah, and wrap this thing up. So by then it would have been about 2.5 years, almost 3 years, working part-time on this site. And so it's a good goal to have, to kind of wrap this up and finish it by Juneteenth. So that's the goal. That's what I'm going to be working towards. And now for the rest of the day until I leave, I'm going to start working on this section with the string lights and figure this out and cross it off the list. So, you know, I'm ready to get to work. So right, so the sun is starting to go down, and just about to call it a day at night. Well, call it a day. So I was able to finish stringing the cable, and I actually didn't know how much time I had, so I didn't know if I was going to get to the actual lights, but I ended up taking the lights out of the box and unraveling them, which takes, unfortunately, a lot longer than it should. And but I was able to get them unraveled with enough time to string them up. So now this section has string lights, and for the time being it's just tied off right there. There's an eye bolt that's connected to the greenhouse, so it's secured there. And so now next time I come back, which will be in a couple days, I have to figure out how I want this strand to, where I want this strand to go. You know, do I want it to go down this back alley, or depending on how much I have, because I just have one more strand left of 150. Another idea is that I get it all the way up here, and at this peak of this greenhouse, we're gonna attach a wire, another support wire, all the way to that side. So you'll have a string light that goes all the way across, and then I think it'll go across like that. And then, or maybe it'll go around the greenhouse, the back side, and then it'll come out on this this side, and then it'll come back and reattach up here. So we'll have two strands going basically over the stage area. Then it comes back on this side, and I have to figure out, once it comes back here, it's really just going to depend on how much I have left, basically. So it comes here, and then I either drape it down to the lower side of the greenhouse and then get it on top of the covered bar, and then, you know, it goes across probably this along the edge or something like that, attaches to the pergola somehow and goes across there, maybe wraps around there. So I might have to maybe measure things just to make sure I've got enough to do that plan and figure out basically what I'm going to do from this point forward. So I've got a little bit left of that strand, and then after that, about 150 feet in the last one. So I'll have to figure out kind of how to stretch that to maximize what I can do with that. Of course, I can always get more, but I'd rather make it look good with what I've got and go from there. I'm still debating on if I need to attach some kind of, like, another guy wire or something that attaches to this post. It's not terrible, but I could really get this post tight so that it pulls everything tight. Not really too concerned about things falling, because at least these things have good, like, balance. But I could do that just to make sure there's no chance that anything topples over, which probably wouldn't be good. So I'm gonna see what I can do and see if I need to put guy wires connected through the 4x4 and, like, anchored to the ground right there. So I will kind of make that call when I get to it. But from here, that's pretty much all I can do. So this is kind of me signing off on Monday, May 1st, kind of just trying to get things ready for Juneteenth. So about six to 7 weeks to go, and I think it's doable. I think it's manageable to wrap this thing up. So I'm gonna leave for today and then be back in a couple days, and we'll see what I can do from there. Okay, so I thought this might have taken the video of me installing the sign for the poolside oasis, but it didn't. I think it just something weird happened, as sometimes it happens with the GoPros. But so there it is, the Carver's poolside oasis, and It is the end of the workday on May 3rd, Wednesday, and I'm just gonna go around the site and show what I was able to finish today. I was able to do one more, then a little bit. I still don't know if I'm gonna finish out this whole section with the pavers, or I might just use the rock. But I wanted to put like a little deviation, you know, so that it looked like, okay, this is the start of the path, and then it goes on. To kind of keep this angle down, just so that I can show you where things are at with the lights. That's the big thing, and they are actually on right now. So I was able to get the cable and the strand going across the pool one time, and then I ran out, and so I've got one more strand of 150 feet of lights. So with that, I should be able to go around the greenhouse, and then another cable on this side, come back and finish it off in this area. Hopefully, I might have to take some measurements just to be sure, but the lights are looking good, and they're turned on for the first time, and it's not quite dark yet, so they're not as bright as they will be when it's actually night. And then also I got these kind of like guy wires installed, so now these posts are definitely under tension. We've got the cable supports going that way, and then the cables coming down on this side. So all three of them have the guy wire supports, and so they're definitely locked in. So, and that also pulled some of the string lights a little bit more tighter, not super tight, but just enough so it makes a difference. I think I only had one bulb that was just wasn't twisted in all the way, but they're on for the first time, and I already know that this space is going to look really nice when it's nighttime. I don't know if you can even pick this up, but this dove has been hanging out over here, I think because of all the bird feed, bird food, I guess. Anyways, so that is pretty much it. It's just about, I think, 7 o'clock Wednesday, May 3rd, and I'm closing down the site. It's been a long one. It's definitely starting to get hot out here, and I'm ready to wrap this up by Juneteenth of this year. So about 6 weeks to go, and I think it's definitely doable to wrap things up. So that's signing off for today.